Hello everybody, welcome to Alla Griglia. My name is Joel Hashim, I'll be your host today. This is a TV show where we like to interview JCU professors and find out a little bit more about them. Today we're grilling Professor Connelly and Professor Lopez. How are y'all doing today?
Very good.
Dandy. Thank you. Yeah.
So today we're talking about college life. But before we do that, we'd like to get a little introduction from y'all. How long have y'all been teaching at JCU? A little bit about yourselves, what departments you're in. Let's start with Professor Connelly.
Oh, we'll start with me. All right. I've been here for 6 years now. I've got a doctorate in Shakespeare from St Andrews, so that's my bread and butter, if you like. But I'm also a theatre director, so I teach theatre. I teach public speaking as well. Yeah, that would be about me. 6 years in.
I got you beat. I've been here for 10 years. And what else am I supposed to say?
What you teach.
Oh, yes.
Things, where you're from.
Very bad at communication, but I teach communication.
In fact, you're the chair of that department.
Yeah, I'm the
not?
chair of the communications department. And I'm from Los Angeles.
All right.
And I like to tell people that I got a PhD from the School of Punk Rock.
Mm-hmm. Were you born in LA or just lived there?
No, I was born in LA.
And Professor?
I was born in Benfleet in Essex, in England, about 50 miles east of London. What's the School of Punk Rock?
Well, it's a school of hard knocks. No.
Is it hard knock or punk rock? I don't know which
punk
one.
rock.
Oh, right.
No, when I was a teenager, I was in the punk scene in LA. And
I can tell.
Everything, I still, still working on it. And I still wear...
Okay.
I got the Vans.
Vans, I
Got
was a
the Vans.
skateboarder.
That was actually someone else's leg.
Those are prop.
Got a model under the table.
Yeah, so, no, I learned everything about the media that is important to know from being a punk rocker. Making zines, using Xerox machines. We didn't have computers. We used scissors, glue, telephones, landlines, that is, a dial.
Are you cutting the film and gluing them
Yeah,
together?
just very hands-on.
All right.
Sorry, I asked. Okay. Right, yeah, go.
All right, well, thank you guys. Let's jump into our first section, Would You Rather? All right, let's start with the Would You Rather questions. So the first one we have is, do you prefer to sit in the front row or the back row? Or what would you do as students?
Front row.
Front row?
Yeah. Why? No? You care? Oh, okay. Front row. I like to see the whites of their eyes.
It's American Revolution stuff.
You want to stare down the professor?
I like to. Can't do that from the back. Right? Yeah, just in case he makes a mistake, I want him to know that I'm watching. Yeah.
All right, well, I don't think this answer would be very popular among my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to UC Berkeley, which is a very big university. Right. So if I had a seminar class, we would sit around a table like this. So there was no front row, back row.
Mm-hmm.
We were all there. But I had some professors that were absolutely boring. And they were in lecture halls. And this one guy in particular would just read from a sheet of paper. He never looked up. So there's no way in hell I was going to go to the front row, because in the back I could go to sleep, I could go in and out, I would come, and if it was really boring, I would leave. So I would never advise my students to do that, ever. But in that particular situation, it was okay.
Yeah, you can feel for him there.
Yeah.
Today we have the reading straight off of the PowerPoints as the same
that's
thing.
the equivalent, yeah.
That's what we got.
Not very good pedagogy.
Our second question is, would you rather take an 8 a.m. class or an 8 p.m. class?
Alo, do you want to run with that first?
Yeah, hands down, 8 p.m. In
8 p.m.
fact, my last 2 years of college, as I got older, I learned about myself a little bit better. I realized I could just not wake up in the morning. So I just never had a class before 12. And as an advisor, I asked my students when they sign up for early morning classes. I encourage them, of course, to take any class that they want, but I have to make sure that they know that they can wake up.
Oh yeah.
Because if they're not going to wake up, they should not enroll in an early morning class.
That's a straight bet, isn't it? I think that's a straight bet, isn't it? I'm the same. I'm 8 p.m. I don't like the mornings, and I like to bring the day with me, right? If I'm going to take a class, it'll be in the evening, I think, right? Just sort of like shed the day.
Yeah.
Okay, 8 p.m. Perfect.
No, I'm the same way. I came from high school where we had classes starting at 8 a.m. But then I came to JCU and I took a 9 a.m. class. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk. It was English 110, and I withdrew on the second day. Just can't do this early.
Yeah.
So Third question, would you rather write your final paper in under an hour or wing a surprise exam that's half of your final grade?
I'd rather write the paper in under an hour. Definitely.
This is English department?
Yeah, that's English department policy, actually. Don't tell anyone I said that. I've always been very good at moving material quickly, so I can write very quickly. So, yeah, give me under an hour.
Yeah, I'm with Carly, but I consider myself a writer.
All right.
So people who are not writers, maybe it's better to just do the exam, do the readings.
What's that? When you do that, what's that for?
I
Are you a writer or not? Are you a...
I write. I'm a person who writes.
Okay, but what's that then?
It's online fan fiction.
I'm typing in the air.
Are you? That's for your MacBook Air, is it? It doesn't. It's not. Anyway, go on.
I even I'm a professor.
As well. Do you?
A sense of self-doubt.
Do you?
Well, what does a professor do? Professes.
Yeah, he does. Or she.
I don't. She.
Yeah.
And I don't like the idea that I'm professing.
Yeah.
I want the students to reprofess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Reprofess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a human. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's going well, isn't it? Right.
My name is
Good.
López.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a little bit of a, not so much academia in it.
Oh yeah.
Would you rather have everyone you've ever hooked up with show up to the same party altogether, or would you rather give a presentation and then find out that your fly was down, the zipper was down the entire time?
Are you wearing underwear or not underwear?
Let's just go with how you live your day-to-day life, so I'm not going to assume anything there.
How many people? If it was everyone you've hooked up with, how many people? Would that be a big room you'd need, or a sort of coal shed or something?
I have no
You
idea.
need the lecture hall.
Right. Well, yeah.
room
Exactly.
I don't
closet.
remember.
That's right. I think it'd be amazing if everyone I ever hooked up turned up with to a party. That'd be fantastic.
It's your funeral.
I'd really want it. Well, it's called your funeral, yeah. But then I wouldn't have much. They're only there for the money. What money? That'd be amazing. I'd love to know if they get on with each other. They probably have more in common with each other than I did with any of them individually, actually.
Usually,
Right. What are you nodding for?
they would, because they have a common enemy, which is you.
Just assuming he was so bad they're
Well, I
all
was going to say
enemies now.
that does suggest that everything ended traumatically.
But don't exes always have like this camaraderie?
Oh, this isn't ex, it's just anyone you hooked up with. So.
Oh, well, I was gonna say,
Ex hookup.
Yeah.
ex hookup. I don't know the meaning of that, but that's a new term.
All right.
This is, we
Someone
didn't-
you got with.
It implies
We-
bases 1 through home plate.
we never.
And out of the ballpark.
Yeah, we didn't have Tinder when we were
right.
back in the day. I'll just add, the way I would answer this, the way I will answer this, is I'm friends with all my exes, so it would be a fun party.
All right.
I'd rather have the party.
How do you manage to keep friends with all your exes? What's the secret?
I don't know. It just somehow worked out that way.
It's you. They
It's
look
usually
into
not
your eyes.
automatic. I mean, it takes a while.
They look into your eyes, don't they? And they know.
Let's go on. Would you rather sleep through your final exam or have the world's worst group for your final group project?
Ooh. It'd have to be the world's worst group, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And then you'd
yeah.
have to try and motivate them,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? Right?
I mean, at least you would have something to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep through an exam.
Oh,
Could you?
I
Well,
can't imagine.
I can't imagine that.
It's like one of those bad dreams where you go to school, no pants on.
I haven't had one of those
One
actually.
of my
Never
favorite
had an
dreams.
anxiety.
It's the second time you mentioned underpants, isn't it? As well, in 5 minutes.
It's a very
What's going
common
on? What's going on there?
anxiety
Yeah.
dream that people have.
Is that your Y front chromosome? What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
So kids, don't sleep through your exam. You
Yeah.
heard that from the 2 professors.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good idea.
All right. Last one. Would you rather have your professor call on you to summarize a reading that you did not do, or would you rather get called out for falling asleep in class? Another
Is that
sleeping
falling
question.
asleep again? Not falling asleep in your underwear,
Yeah,
Alo.
exactly. That's a very common anxiety dream.
Yeah. That was.
It's odd because we do that every night. We
As
just go
well.
to sleep in underwear, but as soon as
Yeah.
we're outside that bed,
I'd go for the summarizing.
summarizing.
Yeah, I can wing that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You can't wing sleeping, can you?
No.
No.
Well, I used to, when I was in high school, I had a class where I put on dark glasses and I could sleep, but as my teacher walked back and forth, I could tell where he was, so I would just move my head like this.
Daredevil.
Didn't the teacher say what's with the shades then, Alo, in class? Did you have medical certificate or something?
No, they did it. This was Arizona. I think.
Oh, of course. Why didn't you say?
Bright.
Why didn't you say? Yeah.
It was very bright there.
Yeah. Everyone wears sunglasses in.
It was the 80s. The future is so bright, you had to wear shades.
1980s.
Yeah, 1980s.
Yeah. Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're all cooked, let's start with the seasoning, shall we?
Oh, that's very good, John.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome back. This next session is called Story Time, where we're going to ask you a little bit about your college lives, both as a student and a professor. All right, so this is for both of y'all. Did you or do you have a routine, traditions, or superstitions before an exam or before the first day of school?
I have a qualifying statement.
Yes.
There's an old saying for the 60s, which is, if you remember it...
1960s.
1960s.
Yeah, just checking.
I was born in the 60s, but I wasn't part of the, I guess was residually. If you remember it, you weren't there. So, yeah. So I just want to qualify this.
Does that connect to anything, really?
I'm just saying that if I remember my college experience, it means it wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were at Oberlin though, weren't you? Yeah, well,
Oberlin and then Berkeley.
And then Berkeley,
yeah.
right.
I have friends at Berkeley. I know what you're talking about.
Horizontally laid back, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, me? I went to Columbia in New York City. Rituals before exam. I brushed my teeth a lot in those days. Books in. I'd always got the syllabi ahead of time, and I'd probably gone and bought the textbooks as well. So I'd always have them lined up in alphabetical order on my desk. That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Very methodical.
Yeah, very methodical. Yeah, no, I was very methodical. In fact, I knew I was going to say that. That's how, you know. So I always get there early, have great smelling breath. I don't know why, just in case something happened in the exam. In case there was a surprise breath test or something, I suppose, you know, for 10% of the final grade. That's about it. I'm not massively ritualistic like that. But then lining my books up in alphabetical order, I suppose you could say that's a bit, couldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Ayla?
I don't remember.
Of course, that's you. But you can't use that for every question, mate. All right. That's no good, is it? You can't.
Pleading the fifth.
It's not a court of law, is it?
The only thing I remember was if I had to cram for the exam, I, to this day, don't remember what it was I studied for.
Absolutely.
Why is it that you don't remember? Did you? Why should?
I honestly, the only exam I remember was the last one I took. The last thing I finished to graduate. I remember the end of the exam and walking out the door thinking, I'm done. That's the only thing I remember.
But that's massively not answering the question, isn't it? Why don't you remember?
If I knew, I would tell you. I honestly do not remember.
You're so mysterious. you are.
You know what it is? I avoided classes that had exams.
Oh, all right.
I wrote papers. I understand. I mostly had papers.
Yeah, I get that.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
I was not into exams.
I'll go for a class with presentations over like midterms and finals and stuff. I like the formal.
Do you set exams now in class? Do you do exams, midterms, finals, stuff like that?
Final presentations. Yeah. Sometimes I do an exam, but you know, honestly, I hate exams and I hate giving them. The only reason I do it is because it's the only thing that will motivate students to actually do the work.
Yeah, I got you.
I wish I had another way to motivate them.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Cash normally helps, really.
Yeah, cash. Yeah.
As much as I want to deny that statement, just part of me is like, he right. You're right. All right, let's go on. What is the most embarrassing, or do you have a funny moment or anecdote from your studies, or something that you saw while you were at JCU? So either as a student or professor.
I think calling Alo, I think.
Alo.
Probably
Halo and Halo.
And then when that got boring, I called him Inhalo, right? Because of his, you know.
My inhaler?
You're Inhalo, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, you are to me anyway.
Actually, I might need to use it now.
Go for it.
Can I?
Give us a squirt. Give us a squirt after.
That's the trailer.
Yeah.
I always have to tell my students that it's a legal drug.
It's illegal or legal?
Illegal.
Illegal.
Like Alo.
Alo, illegal. Yeah.
It's
Look at that.
asthma inhaler.
Yeah.
fact, I think I'm going to use
No,
it right
do it.
now.
Go for it. Yeah, look at that. Live.
Hold it in. Hold
Yeah,
it
hold
in.
it in.
Let it out.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah,
How does it smell?
Thanks. Awful. Yeah, go on. Oh. Did you get?
Did we get that? You encouraged him. She said,
Oh, stop it! You didn't do that on TV, mate. You did, didn't you?
I was doing.
Oh.
It was probably really loud too, because
Oh.
the mic was.
Okay.
You're good?
I'm back now.
This was actually the funniest thing I ever did at JCU.
Yeah.
No, that's the funniest thing that's ever happened. Funniest thing that's ever happened in my life, I think
Actually,
that is.
wait. My funniest JCU story is I had a
Top
student.
that, go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Student came in for advising, and I said, "So how's it going?" And he said, "I'm better, thank you." I said, "Better for what?" He goes, "I was struck by lightning." And did you hear the
This
news?
is being metaphorical, intellectual
No, he
lightning
was
from one of your classes. Intellectual lightning.
He-
Boom.
Yeah,
Now I know
wish,
it.
I wish.
Yeah.
No, Gianicolo. It was in the
Was
news.
he at the top of the hill, or was
Yeah, he had
it?
another student were struck by lightning. I remember it was in the news. It was a few years ago.
Oh wow.
But I didn't know it was him.
Were there no telltale signs or anything like
I didn't
that?
get like
he
the
looked
tiger
completely
stripe
normal.
scars, or.
No, zero.
He was just didn't come in like a mummy or anything like that, you know.
No,
just
he
sort
looked
of,
perfectly normal. So he didn't seem like someone who'd been struck by lightning.
what's perfectly normal these days? Eh? Yeah. I don't
Especially
know.
in Rome.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on. What is the craziest thing that one of your teachers or professors did, or that you may have done?
Oh my god.
My answer is right on TV.
I was blowing out of my nose, not in my nose.
Yeah.
No, we got that. We got that.
There's a
Don't
very
worry.
distinct difference.
No, we got that. I counted the bubbles. It's all right. Yeah. Yeah. It's popping bubble time. It's
Stop
popping
it.
bubble time. Right. Okay. Okay. Very
I'm
good.
about to get very serious.
Yeah.
All right.
Now my glasses
One of your
are all
lenses is
foggy.
steamed up. You steamed
Yes,
up. There. Shall I take this one for you? What we do?
Yeah, I need a break. Go ahead.
Okay.
And then I'll come back.
Craziest thing that one of your professors did.
Oh,
nose.
Ivy League, mate. Not
Ivy League?
Yeah, not
What about St. Andrews?
bit serious, craziest thing. No, I wore a red nose, didn't I, to do my. Remember Professor of the Month? Remember that? When
Yeah.
that
I
was a
saw
thing?
that on YouTube.
Did you?
Because I'm big in theater, so I was like looking up.
Someone
stuff,
else
and
watched it.
there's,
It's got 1.5k views, right?
Yeah, I saw
1.499 of mine, and from the same, and yours is the other one. Is it amazing?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
put that
right
nose
after
on.
I got I got my
Admitted
acceptance. Yes.
to a psychiatric unit, and you watched that, did you? And you thought, I can get down with that.
Yep,
You thought, yeah.
I remember that exactly.
I wore that
the
nose.
Clown nose.
Yeah, I wore the clown nose.
Because comedians do that as a charity thing, like a red nose event. I was wondering if this is part of it. But
Yeah, I don't know. He looks like he's wearing. No, you're not, are you? It's not a real. Is it?
Actually, this is a true story.
Everything else has been
we
like.
We were in a faculty senate meeting, and someone randomly said, "And what if promotions were based on whether or not you had a clown nose?" And I actually had a clown nose
It's
in
like,
my bag, and I pulled out the clown nose and I put it on.
You have one in your bag.
Yeah,
How
it's a
come?
coup. It's a coup.
How did you? Why?
because I went to a theater and there was this clown group that does charity, and they had all these clown noses, so we gave them money, and I always have it in my pocket in case.
You always carry it.
Yeah. in
I
case-
carry a pocket knife, but I think that's normal.
No, I think it's
Clown
you should
nose.
always have a clown nose.
Have you ever blown into it?
I can't. I'm all too stuffed up.
Well, you weren't just then, were you? Something happened.
Nothing came out.
It bloody did. I saw it. That's not true. That's not true. Busy left nostril.
Now, my clown nose is in my bag, so I can't pull it out for you to demonstrate this,
alright.
but I do always carry a clown nose. And you always should.
If I had that, it'd just be for
well
pranks.
known for that.
Always be prepared.
Well known for that. Right.
Be prepared.
BA, MSc, PhD bracket, clown nose, close
Yeah.
bracket.
Yeah.
Like that.
Clown at the ready.
When in
Yeah.
doubt, pull out
Whip
the
it
clown
out.
nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Wait. So I had a
All right.
story.
Go on.
This is serious, so don't make
Oh,
me laugh.
okay.
When I was in high school, I had a teacher who did it. He was doing it was a U.S. history, and he was doing a lecture on slavery. And we had these metal fold-up chairs in our classroom. And he said, "This is my slave." And he picked up the chair and he threw it against the wall and he started kicking it. He started smashing it on the floor. He said, "I do whatever I want with it because this is my slave." And he started smashing it for like 15 minutes.
That's the story.
That was
Either
the craziest thing my teacher ever did.
Oh, I see.
Very passionate, very demented, or just very kinky, and he didn't realize what context he was in.
Well, no, I think he made his point because I remembered it. You know that this slave was like not a human. You know,
Yep.
and you could just do whatever you wanted to it.
Is this on like U.S. slavery, or was it like ancient
U.S.
like Roman slavery?
No,
where they
like
had
black
that?
slaves from Africa in the United States on a plantation.
Don't you worry then what he's like when he goes home? I would.
I feel for his pet turtle.
I would. I don't worry about turtle. I mean, I worry for his family. Is that what he's? Do you know what I mean? Because that's obviously
I don't think he saw his family as slaves.
Well, that's what I want. I mean, that's the question I don't want to ask, but you've answered without me asking it. That's clever, that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you were a student here at John Cabot University in 2017, are there any classes you'd like to take or that you find interesting? Ones that are in your field or maybe aren't in your field?
Anything that ALO teaches.
Yeah.
After today, I'd be in there.
I would be
I'd be in the front row with the tissue.
Conley's
The hanky.
Conley's
there you go.
drama class for sure.
Yeah.
Conley's drama class?
Yeah.
And aside from that, maybe the Rome City class.
The on-site ancient Romans monuments.
No, not the ancient one. The one where you go with
cities, villas. And...
no, it's the sociology class. You
Oh,
go,
you eat
okay.
ice cream. Is that
you
one?
go meet with the Roma people and the refugee centers and things like that.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I'm a bleeding heart liberal.
Are you?
No.
It's running down your shirt.
It's all on the wall.
Yeah, look at that. End up your nose. Right, okay. No, I won't. That's enough now.
All right, on a more serious thing.
Wait a second.
Maybe not more
we were
serious than
just being
slavery,
serious.
but this has to do with John Cabot policy. And it's as professors or just as people that may care about your students. How do you feel about the absence policy?
I'm an adjunct. I'll let the full-timer start with
Do
that
you
one, shall I?
stick with, I think it's typical, they changed it in the past couple semesters, like 3 absences is what you're allowed, like,
I think so.
with a doctor's
Well,
note or without allowed. That's what's most common for my classes. But other classes, the teachers just like...
I'm pretty strict, actually.
Mhm.
Because, so my policy is after 3 absences, you lose a letter grade.
Okay.
And again, it's the carrot and stick situation where without that policy, students would be more lackadaisical and they make an effort to show up. Also, usually students who miss more than 3 classes are on a downward slope anyways. And any student
Or
misses,
gravely ill.
What? Or gravely, well, okay, if they're sick, that's another story. I work, if students have personal issues, whether it's mental or physical, I always work with students or familial problems.
And there's a program here for that.
Yeah. No, that's one-on-one. But as a policy, my experience is basically any student that misses 5 classes usually fails.
All right.
Not because I fail them as that they cross the line. It's just that they're not interested in the material. They don't show up to do the work. They turn things in late. They don't really care. It's just a sign to me. So for me, it's sort of more of a barometer. So if I see that students are missing a lot of classes, it tells me that they're probably not going to do very well, that they don't particularly care.
All right.
I think everyone in this room has had a class with me. Is that right? You haven't, have you?
I had you for one day.
Did you? Oh, you did.
You
That's
subbed
right.
for Professor De Luca.
That's it. I'm just wondering. Absence. I normally, if a student's absent a couple of times, I'll normally try and speak to them first and sort of see if anything's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See if
Yeah,
anything
I say.
we can help with there. What's excessive? 5 absences, probably. Out of
14 weeks.
Out of 28
usually,
classes,
so-
Yeah.
5 absences. Yeah, that's a chunk, isn't it? That's 20% right there, isn't it? So that's probably fail at that point. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
One side of your moustache is longer than the other. Have you noticed that?
I just
No, down here.
here.
Yeah, that's long. That's about an inch
You
longer.
know, I
than
just
there.
cut this
I hear it's a
morning, and
common thing
I
in the
didn't.
body.
Is it? Are you?
I maybe.
Is it deliberate?
No, it's because I'm left-right brain imbalanced.
And your moustache is an external kind of.
It's a physical embodiment.
Yeah.
That's
His
body's
logic and his
strange how it reacts to
creativity.
things like that. How weird that body is.
Yeah.
I don't mean bodies. I don't mean your body.
Yeah.
You know, really. Although, right,
If you could change your profession, so not being well, I know you're a writer as well.
I am.
Outside of school.
Yep. Yep.
What would you do? What would you be?
I would be a comic book artist.
Comic book artist.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you ever take the? There's a comic book course here, I believe, at John Cabot.
I teach it.
Oh, you teach it. Oh, okay. That shows.
Good.
That shows.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
All right. Comic book artist.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a new hobby.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something I really enjoy.
I'd be a stand-up comic book artist.
Stand-up comic?
Book artist.
You already are. What are you talking about?
I know, but no one's paying me for it.
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you mean you want to be a professional stand-up comic?
I think I should.
A
don't
good
you?
one.
Well, I think I'd like to give that a go. I think I'd like to give that a go.
Yeah.
Try a couple open
Not out
mics.
of not out of a sort of this desperate need to be.
Have you done the Rome Comedy
vanity
Club
or anything like
thing?
that. I just need to make some money. I'm just totally mercenary. Just go tell jokes, pass the cap around, go on to the next church hall. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A quid for joke?
A quid for joke.
Yeah.
Is that English?
I don't know. I'm trying
Let's
to.
go.
What?
Old English.
Is that English? Is that English?
Give you 5 pence.
Yeah, there you go.
Consider yourself at home. Right, yeah. Go. Brilliant, yeah. All right, lovely. All right.
You can see me in My Fair Lady upcoming next fall.
Yeah.
What is a quid, anyways?
Pound.
I think a quid's
it's
a pound.
Quid's a
Quid's a
pound. Yeah. It's an old school.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll still use shillings.
Why? I've.
Florins.
Can you explain to me why the British have so many different names for money?
We have
Yeah,
dollar,
sterling, pounds,
Yeah.
quid.
Yeah.
What?
Well, bearing in mind we're the sort of we are the world's corrupt bankers, aren't we? Really, the Brits, right?
Yeah.
We're the where all the money comes. So I say laws.
I mean, euros are euros, right?
Oh, a philosopher.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
realist.
Yeah. Indeed. Euros are euros. Okay. No, I don't know why we do though, don't we? Pennies and shillings and. No,
Yeah. Shilling. There you go. That's another one.
God, hardly in my lifetime. Shillings. I don't think we do. Pounds, shillings, and pence, right? Well, the pence is still there. That's not-
Sterling.
No, under pence. No.
Isn't it a pound sterling?
Pound sterling. Yeah. Shillings aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
A quid.
And, well, quid's just.
Slang, like buck or.
It's a slang word, isn't it? Really, quid.
I wouldn't know.
Don't you?
Moving on to our last question. If y'all were, it says when you were my age, but I'm 22. I think most other students are around 20-ish, 19, that age. Is there anything you wish you could go back and do? Either back when you were my age, or if you were like 22 or 20 here. If you
Do
were
or
millennial.
undo? Huh. Actually, I never did a year abroad or a semester abroad. I wish I had done that.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there any place in particular you want to go?
Whoa. You mean to study abroad?
To study abroad, yes. Or a year abroad, or I assume like a gap year.
Yeah, South America, Mexico.
The valedictorian from my high school a few years ahead of me, valedictorian offers from Ivy League universities, went to New Zealand for a year to be a sheep farmer.
Wow.
And that's just what he did with his life.
That's a good way to get perspective.
Yeah. I have no idea how you set up just like, I'm going to have this many sheep.
Yeah.
He did it.
I think there's a lot to be said for that, don't you? I think you feel like lamb. Little, right.
That's the main motive.
Yeah.
I see
Well, you're
where-
New Zealand, man. Meat. You've got to be you're a meat. They're a bunch of meat eaters. Really.
Did he cut the wool too? And
I don't know.
actually,
What did I do? No. What? Go on.
If you were 22 or
Oh, yeah.
20, is there anything you wish you could
I
go
didn't.
back and do?
Oh, well, you mean at uni? I didn't start uni until I was 29, but
Oh, okay.
I probably wouldn't sit with the Columbia College football team in math. Again,
Oh, geez.
If I could change everything, right? If I could change one thing, I wouldn't sit with the football
would not
team
sit.
in math. No, because it was a great laugh, right? But I failed math twice.
oh,
Were you just too distracted? Or?
We were having so much of a good time, and they were like, oh my God, your accent's amazing. Can you just insult me again? Right. 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 And I said, well, of course I will, chap. Yeah.
Can you say sticky wicket for
Yeah,
me?
yeah, no, exactly. Of course I will, chap. What would you like me to call it? You know, and the whole, I mean, 2 classes a week, we spent like just joshing around in that way.
Like this interview.
Like, careful. Oh right. I thought something was. No, yeah, indeed. It's real, isn't it?
Actually, so when I was in college, the thing was in those days, I don't know if it still is,
In the 80s.
in the 80s, to go to Europe for the summer and get one of those Euro passes, you know, take the train everywhere.
Trains.
Yeah, I never did that. And now it's just flying around, which to me is not as interesting as taking the train.
You've been flying around today, I'll tell you that, Alo.
I know.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm reliving that fantasy now as a professor,
Well,
traveling around Europe.
only as a fantasy or as a...
No, I mean, I had that fantasy, but now I'm living it out.
You've made it concrete.
Yeah,
You're travelling around on trains.
all over, well, sometimes,
be 20.
but all over Europe.
Pretending to be 20 years old again.
It's hard to pretend.
It is. I can see you at the front of the train.
I can only drink one beer.
Right, all that.
Yeah. Then it's done.
One beer and I'm finished.
Oh, same. Half a beer, mate. Cheap
Yeah.
date. We should go and have a pint sometime. Right?
Yeah.
Whole evening.
With 2 straws.
I know. Whole evening, like €3 each.
We
Right?
can talk about what medications we're taking.
Oh
and-
God. Yeah. Oh, it'd be a long evening then. Yeah. Yeah. Get an ambulance as well, because half a pint.
All right, well, thank you so much to our special guests. I'm Joel Hashup, and this has been Alla Griglia.
Great stuff. Well done. Yeah.
Peace.
Oh, they didn't get any of it. The whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
guys,
that's bad.
start from the beginning.
Take the
My
lens
name's Joel
caps
Hashup.
off. Yeah.
I have all my funny energies finished. Makeup.
Can I get some powder? I'm looking a bit shiny.
Right. Oh wait, no. Did you get that? Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Hey!
The front of the camera just got boom, like it's been hit by
Put on the 3D glasses.
driving in a rainstorm. in the 19. Oh, too boring. What?
Guys, let's jump into our first section. Would you rather? I knew there was a cut.
Oh, we were cutting, were we?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, but your smile just creeped me out. So like, when is this gonna happen?
Was the volume all right on that?
How's my posture?
Perfect.
It's that new mattress you've got. It's good. It's looking good. I have
The
to
sweetest
say.
sleep system.
Padded
is.
shoulders.
He's got that. Have you got the pads on? Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good lad.
Yeah.
They can bear a lot of weight, those shoulders, can't they? Can't they?
At least I don't have helmet hair.
Yeah. What, you're saying? Oh, no, right, fine. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I think I missed a line. I think I missed the word
I'm
story.
dying right here.
Are you?
I just look up and
This
she's
was a mistake.
bent over. I'm like,
Jack behind this camera.
What, is the camera shaking? Is the camera shaking like that? Is it? Is it?
Yeah, you can go beep, 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 beep.
That was amazing. And the sound. It's like a dodgy
I will never have the confidence to do that.
Oh my god. That was just.
I was in control until I looked at you.
No, I'm gone. I couldn't handle that. That was too much. Did you get enough stuff?
Yeah, that was amazing.
You have
Yeah.
enough? Nothing incriminating, okay?